Hey everybody, well, we're back doing stuff again today, and you see this is called decorative. This is decorative stainless steel 1-inch tubing. It's called decorative because it's got these little decorative rings and stuff. You notice I have two of these, and you notice I have two paddles there too. Well, what I'm doing, I'm making stainless steel paddles, and I know everybody's going to go, well, they don't float, and I know they don't float. But I actually have pull noodles that I bought on Shopee, and I'm going to actually slide sections of them. I don't know where, maybe in the center here somewhere, enough that they'll float. If you drop them in the ocean, I'll kind of sculpt the end so they're not just a straight chop. I'll make them kind of blend into the oar handle. And so anyway, these are some oars that I bought, and paddles here are ridiculously expensive. I mean, over where I'm building the boat, we talked to people there, asked them how much a paddle, and they've got them. You know, people carve them. They basically hand carve them, and they want like over 1,000 pesos for them for one. And it's just like, I'm not paying 1,000 pesos for. I bought these for 250 on Battalion Island each, so it's 500 for two. And they're kind of lightweight, little canoe paddles. But I bought them for decorative purposes. I'm going to put these on my wall as a decorative thing. So I got to, clean them up and maybe stain them or something, and maybe varnish them. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll do something decorative with them. But you can see my oars are basically my pole. These are a little bit short, so my pole is roughly the same length as the total paddle length is here. So I'm going to have a handle here. It's going to be like a V, like a shovel, how it kind of V's out, and then it's got the handle grip here. Well, that's what I'm going to have. I'm going to make that, and then down here for the paddle, I'm going to use diamond plate. So we're going to cut some diamond plate. I don't know if it's going to be the shape of this or not. Similar shape. This is like a tropical islander style paddle shape. Nice looking, I think. Good looking and functional. But we're going to use diamond plate, and we're going to curve it like that, like cup it on each side. So there's going to be two sides, and it's going to have air in the sense in between the two cupped plates, shaped similarly to this, and it's going to be welded, of course, around the seam. So the inside is going to be airtight, and so there'll be an air pocket there, and then the surface will be the diamond plate. If you've seen that, that's like those little lines that kind of go at angles on a piece of stainless steel or galvanized metal. Usually it's galvanized in the U.S., but we use stainless a lot here because we're in the ocean. So that's the game plan here. I've got, as you see, I just cut these so that they're equal. Not only are they equal, but their patterns line up. See, like the 3 pattern there lines up with the 3 there. If I put the ends equal, and the 4 and the 3 and the 3 and the 4 like that, they all line up. So the paddles match if you want to be stylish. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, of course, at the end of this, whichever end is the handle end, I don't know which end that'll be. They're almost the same either way. But I'm going to have these. These are going to be kind of like the handle thing. So I got to cut this angle here and mount these onto here like that. One on each side, of course. One on this side, one on this side, and then the handle across the top. And I'm going to use these. See this little ridges? It's a nice grip, and this is super smooth, so I don't think you're ever going to get a blister from it, and it's a good grip on the hand. It fits kind of between the fingers and stuff, and your hands are wet, so it won't be so slippery, and that's another reason why I got the decorative. I could have got this here just completely smooth, but if your hands are wet, it's slippery, and you don't have any texture to grip, so that's again why I got the decorative stuff here, was because you can kind of grip it. You got a grip on it, kind of like a non-slip type surface. So anyway, that's what I'm up to, and I think you may be getting some wind noise from my fan. I've been listening to the videos I've been making, and every now and then I hear wind noise, and it's like it wasn't windy that day. And then I realize that I'm just walking into the wind zone of my fan, or I'm standing in the wind zone, and that's where you're picking up that wind noise. So I apologize for that. And this is my 5/8 inch tubing here. I was thinking about using this, but again, you're back to the slick and no texture for the handle. But this was the one I used to cut in the little 1-inch sections for the rope to go through for the rope stairs for the backs of the two outer holes. So anyway, we will be back with more. We're making paddles. We're making boat oars, or whatever you want to call these things. But that's kind of the model, sort of, and the size and shape. And if you use these, by the way, if I stand up in the boat, it's about the right length. And when I add the handle onto the end, because that's going to be another 6 inches or so, and then when I add the diamond plate to the bottom end, that's going to be another 8, 9, 10, 12 inches. So it's really going to be a long paddle. So standing up in the boat, paddling, sitting down, you can still get a good stroke. And engineering, folks, you gotta engineer this stuff and make it look decorative. Aesthetics and engineering rolled into one. We'll be back with more from my paradise on the Italian island. Yeah, baby, we're building oars today. Hey, everybody. Bye for now. All right, we're well on our way to getting the little handle grips made. And what I've come up with is I need a 5-inch span between the bottom of this grip. So this piece goes here. This is the bottom where that line is, not the top or the center. I need a 5-inch wide grip to put my fist, and also so it doesn't rub the corners of my knuckles and stuff, don't rub on the inside of this. So we've got this here cut like that. These are the line, by the way. This is the line that I want, this outside line. And then I've cut this one here. Oops, I'll have to go fish that one out of the mud. And this one here, I've cut, and see, it's right too. So, and this is the pipe here. I've got it, you can see it sticking out the back there. I've got a piece of wood laying on it so it don't flip up. So we got this part cut and this part cut. Now we got to cut across. And again, I got my hands, I'm not using my hat cam. I got to cut this angle here so we can set that piece in the mud across here. And then we got to cut the ends there and cap them, and voila, you got a handle, the top part. And then I got to do that again for the other one, for this one here, because of course we have 2 oars, and everything matches. You can see all the little ripples, all the decorative stuff. Hey, lines everybody, up. Look what we're doing. I don't know if you can see these blue lines here, but they're the shape of what? A paddle. So we, oops, I got to be careful, those corners are sharp. So we are cutting out paddle blades. Okay, and I'm cutting out 2, well, I'm cutting out 4. I've got 2 paddles. This is one set, and this over here is one set. This is a 0.5 millimeter thick stainless steel, mirrored, and I've started cutting it. And what you do, as I always say about cutting anything with a grinder, is you just score it. You just score it and work your way back, or score it and work your way back until you slowly get through it. Don't try to dig down into it and cut it like you're using a circular saw or any other saw that you might cut all the way through it in one shot. So that's what I'm doing. It's going to get loud, so I'm going to cut the audio down. I'll separate the video so you guys don't have to listen to all the noise, but you'll get to see what I'm doing here and see how I cut through stainless steel. And like I said, this is thin. This is just half millimeter thick, 0.5 mil they call it. So here we go. I'm going to town. I've already scored up to here and up to here, but my arm I can't angle and see what I'm doing there, so I'll flip it around and finish that in when I'm done with this part. So here we go. Okay, that side's done. Or that, look, and that's hot. So now notice I've got it clamped down here, and I've got some 2x2s under here raising it up, so I'm not cutting into anything, the table or anything like that. I'm just cutting into air, or I may cut into this cohoca wood that I have under it, and that again is fine. That's not a big deal. When I'm done, I'm going to have to cut all these little sharp edges off under here. Don't slide your hand on this stuff here, because it is a razor blade. And this too, this little thin strip too. So I'm going to continue, and we're going to do up this side, and after that I'm the next thing you'll see is us probably welding it. What the game plan is, basically this is the size of the paddle shaft or handle. So we're going to lay it here. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to put this in a break, and we're going to put a crease straight down here, straight down the center here. We're just going to crease it slightly, because this piece and this piece are going to be welded in like a little cup like thing, not that far apart, but I mean they'll be close, but it'll be separated in the center and welded around the edge. And so all right, everybody, I have finished cutting out one of these here. So that's basically the paddle shape. I may clean it up a little bit to make everything match. This looks more round than this one, but this is the actual outline of a wooden paddle that I have. So it's a handmade one. But you can see I got to clean all this slag off here, grind all that sharp edges off, and make this thing user friendly. And again, this has got the little paper stuff, so you can peel it off, and then the back will be shiny, or front, whatever. That should be the front. So we're going to weld this one onto this one. We're going to fold it down the center, a little crease, a little fold, like kind of like just the cup of my hand there, and then and the same with that one. And then we're going to weld it. We're going to put a steel rod, I think it's 3/8 inch rod down the center here, to keep these two separated in the fold like that, so they're like that, not flat. I don't know if you can see my hand. I got my hat cam on, but basically they'll be folded with a steel rod down here to ensure they stay in that V configuration. Hey everybody. Well, yesterday I got all of the paddles cut out, as you can see. Cleaning my glasses right now so I can see what I've done. However, I didn't get to clean all of the sharp slag edges off of here, so that's what I'm doing today, or this morning. And then I got to go to the welder. We're going to go weld the boat tarpaulin clips on, but you can see all the sharp edges here. See all that? Really nasty stuff. So I got all 4 of these done. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm going to clean these up. All right, I've got them all, the edges ground, so they're kind of user friendly. But check these two out, man. These things match up like, look at that. One's 32nd of an inch there, another 16th of an inch here, and a 16th here. These bad boys, those things are like perfect matches. So I don't have too much work to do on these two. I am going to fix them though. So we got to put a little vice grip clamp on here. Fortunately, I just bought a couple of vice grips the other day over at one of the, in the Philippines. You'll have these stores, I call them Chinese stores, because they're usually owned by Chinese, and they have a lot of stuff, tools, everything's Chinese. Best Guard is a popular brand that these stores buy, and you can pretty much get anything you want there. You know, like a little hardware store or a plasticware store, whatever. Okay, so I got just a little bit of work to do on this one, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to change grinders, and I'm still going to have to clamp this down. I've got my stick here that I put on top and just clamp it here. I don't know if you can see, and then it kind of pressures that side down. I need to come out a little bit more. Okay, I got to grind here, here, and here. And so I'll put this thing about right in here so I can get to all the spots I need to put a little grind to. Clamp this bad boy on here. I bought this clamp, another clamp. I've got 6 or 8 or 10 clamps in my boat, but I didn't want to go all the way to my boat, so I spent the extra 200 pesos and bought another one of these yesterday when I bought a ladder. Okay, that side, we got that baby perfectly matched. If I really, well, I could make, see this kind of goes in slightly a hair, but this is a native style handmade paddle, so I'm not gonna go to extremes here to make it perfectly like a machined product, because it ain't. It is native. All right, everybody. You're wondering how paddles all start out. It's like this. Just a flat piece of stainless steel. This is 1/2 mil thickness. All right, we'll put the piece on there. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to do that now. You can do that after. But this is our crease here that we're putting in here. This is the brake they have. They have a brake. They also have a pipe roll here too, where they can roll pipe and make it all round and stuff. Yeah, these guys do actually pretty good work. There's their pipe roller there. What make these round bends in the pipe. Okay. Yeehaw. Yeah. And that'll go like that. And then we'll just push it down. Everybody, it's paddle day. So what we've done, we've bent these paddles. As you can see, there's a crease down the center, and so they're separated like that. We're going to put a stainless steel rod inside there to give it strength. And then we've got to make the top part there so it goes around this 1 inch too. So we got to round it. And I've got a hammer and stuff that I need to go get. So I'm going to go run to the car and get my bag of tricks. And I'll be back with more. With my Paradise, I'm in Italian Island. Paradise out. We got paddles just about to start. Bye for now. All right. Cutting off the sides here. It's a little bit loud. Hopefully you can hear me. There we go. A few little pieces. Smoothing out the edge so we don't cut ourselves. Those little razor sharp slag or whatever it is that comes off the side of those things when you grind. It's like a razor. You just touch that and your hand's cut and you're bleeding. Okay, so that's good. That side is good. All right, this is the rounding process for forming it around the handle. This is the size, but we're sticking that in there just so this bar is level and doesn't go down, so you can stand up and work. We've already got one made and it fits amazingly well. I want to say perfect, and it may be. So anyway, we are working this guy over, and when he gets nice and round, we will be back with more. My Paradise on the Italian Island. Wood bended metal. Paradise out. All right, everybody. We got this guy. The point made there. We got this guy, the round part made here for the handle. Now we're cutting this guy here, so that it's got a point at the end so that the end of the paddle will close. When we lay that rod in there, that rod is the stiffener, like that, see right there. And then we bend it down, weld it, TIG it, And that seconds as a harpoon, if we can ever get that paddle off there. Joking, of course. All right. So I'm gonna get back to joining this, and we'll be back with more from my Paradise. I'm Italian Island. Bye for now. What we came up with for the paddle support on the inside is offset rod. It's actually just an internal brace that is not really welded to anything except for that iron. And we'll have to weld it a little better. We just tacked it right now. So we're cleaning these out, making these. The little roll part is too long, so we're just shaving a little bit off of each side so that when the sides meet, they meet like that. They don't overlap like that. So anyway, that's what we're up to. And that's my story. See, drawing a line there so we fix that overlap. I'll cut that off. And now, what we did, we just attached this into here. So there's some attachment to the blade. Yeah. We're welding the tip here. And that's it. Okay. That's the inside of one paddle. We're going to put a little welding on here, and we'll be back with more from my Paradise on Italian Island. That's a half a paddle. Bye for now. Paradise. Hey everybody, we put the first weld on the double blade. Now, a little tack on here. We welded the tip right here and just a little tack weld. Now we're welding the back, and then we go around clamping it or pinching it and welding it each side together. Just tacking it around the edges so that it'll stay closed, and then you can just weld just all pinch closed. Because once you close that part, it pushes the rest of this part closed just naturally from the spring in the metal. So there we go. I'm gonna see if he needs my hands to help hold it. So we'll be back with a paddle for that Paradise Trimaran. We got to do the handle too up here at this end, but that'll be the, I don't know which we're going to do first. Everybody, check it out. This is not the finished product, but it's close to it. We got all this stuff. This all just tack welded and preliminary. But we got her done. This much. We got to put the handle on it too. Up here, it's going to be like a V with a bar across the top for the grip. So, and we got to weld all the side seams here. Got to weld those in. Got to weld little covers on these two sides. And of course, we got to weld this whole edge here all the way around there. And then we'll have one. And we got to do another one. So the welder has to go pick his daughter up from school. So we're scheduled again for tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And we'll be back with more stainless steel paddles from my Paradise on the Italian Island. Hey everybody, we have we're back at the paddle. Of course, this is the paddle video. We're not done with this. This is just the rough tacking and stuff. We also got to make a little angle thing to go here so the paddle kind of looks nice. And we got to, of course, weld this. This is not welded. This here is not welded, and finished. We put the flotation on. We hope this will float this paddle once everything's sealed, because there'll be air inside of here also, and air inside of here also. So that's a minor amount of flotation, but we're keeping our fingers crossed, but we have no idea. Or I have no idea. Next, we're putting the handle on right here. This is the pattern, so that'll weld there, and then our crossbar will go here, and the other one will go here, like that. So we're doing that right now. So we're going to do that. These are little caps for the ends of this one, the crossbar. The cap goes on here, and this goes on here like that. And then we got the big cap for this. We already welded that on and polished it, so it's good to go. So we're going to give it a shot. We're going to do some welding, and we'll be back with more from my Paradise on the Italian knife. We got to actually grind these to get the angle just perfect. Bye. Well, you want to watch? You want to see sparks? Here's the sparks right there. Yeah, he's kind of making it fit, so it's noisy. So we'll be back with more from my Paradise on the Italian Island. Also, Levi cleaned up his shop. Look at this. He swept up the floor, cleaned everything up. They're looking good. They're looking good. Bye. All right, everybody. What we're doing now, we're welding the little end caps onto the bar that I hold here when I'm paddling. It goes, this one goes here, and this one goes here, and this is the crossbar here that we're putting on the little caps for. I gotta talk close to the microphone. So we're putting these little caps on here, these little half caps. These guys here, we're welding them onto here, like that. So we got nice round ends for our handle. Ta-da! So we are moving right along here, getting this handle done. After this, we gotta somehow, like I said, we gotta make an angle going up to here and an angle going up to here, and weld all this stuff. This rounded cap clamp thingy, whatever you call them, on a paddle. So I'm questioning this though. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. We'll see if the yellow stays or not. Paradise out. Well, I'll let you see a flash, because flashes are fun. There's a flash. Bye for now. So you know, my welder over here does have experience making paddles. So this is his first paddle he made here. With the T-handle. Really nice design, and it doubles as a beach shovel. So, you know. And it was GI pipe, so he's advanced all the way to stainless and TIG welding. So anyway, we'll be back with more. The evolution of the paddle. Bye for now. Paradise out, I mean. Well, everybody, we're getting ready to weld the first little V-bar onto the handle. That look level and everything. Down a little bit. We're getting it in the center of the round tube.
On ground, yeah. I'm going to opposite.
Just to get those grooves, those little round grooves that he's made, so it lays down in there, so he doesn't have to. So not too much of a gap between the two pieces of metal. All right, here we go. Now we're going to weld this crossbar on here. It's the perfect width. By the way, I put my hand in there. I got plenty of room. Here we are. It's still just tack welded, but that's the handle there with plenty of room for my hand. Plenty of room there. plenty of torque to twist it with too if I need to do it. I don't know why, but if I did, I could. Plenty of handle there. And get it down here. And now we're gonna cut some metal. The next step, next. In fact, these little pieces here, these are gonna be little V-shaped things that fit to go from here to here and here to here. So that's the pattern. We got to bend a crease in here and a crease in here. This is left side, right side kind of stuff. So anyway, we're gonna cut that out with the grinder. Then we're gonna take it over to the brake, and then we're gonna bend it, and then we'll come back and weld that bad boy. We will be back with more. Just a welded paddles like there's no tomorrow. Bye. See if we can get the whole thing in here, the whole shooting match. Wow, look at that. It is, let's see how tall it is. It is 5 feet. 5 feet. 5 feet 4. 5 foot 4, 5 foot 5, 5 foot 6, something like that tall. So I'm standing up in the boat, and that's the water level. Well, the water level is about 4 inches above about where my sock is. And the paddle's up here, so when I paddle, the paddle will be perfectly in the water, standing up, paddling, and setting down. I just angle it out more to, hey everybody, it is, we're doing the fine tuning here on this little guy. We're putting that little bracket in there, as you can see, the transition. I don't know if you can see it, his glove's in the way, but basically that there is just an L, and we're transitioning it like that. So it look more better. That's how we do it. Hey everybody, we're welding the rope clip onto here because we was going to put this foam on there, but it looked ugly for flotation. But now we're just going to clip a rope onto it, and the rope is clipped to the boat or to the person. Something. So if you drop it, it don't drop to the bottom of the ocean. So I've got these handy dandy little clips that I buy from Shopee. This is pretty cool. That's a handy dandy little loop there that we're going to clip on the rope to, so the paddle don't go to the bottom of it. So we got that on there, and we will be back with more from my Paradise. I'm Italian Alan. Paradise up. All right, everybody. We are putting the TIG weld on the edge of the paddle. He's got that part down there. Now he's working his way this way. All right, everybody. Zoom in here. We finished the welding, and now we're going to do all the cleanup work and grinding the welds down and buffing and polishing it. So it looks, it should look like one continuous piece, just like this is one piece here. That weld and stuff should vanish, and it should look like one piece if all goes well. So we're gonna grind till the sun don't shine, and we'll be back with more from my Paradise on Italian Island. We're making her beautiful now. Paradise out. All right, everybody, we got the rough grinding done, and now we're working on the next phase with a softer, like a grinding pad or sanding pad, actually. I'll zoom in a little bit. Just putting kind of the final smoothing on it with that one. I'm guessing that's about a 240 grit, maybe around in there. Sometimes they'll actually hook up a 1000 grit sandpaper disc that they actually hand make, the little buffing wheel with it, and they'll do the final process with 1000 grit on there, and then they'll put the buffing wheel and buff it out. So we'll see how they do this. So we will be back with more. Just smoothing that baby out. Paradise out. All right, everybody. What we're doing now, this is the next phase of the grinding, smoothing it out, making it more buffable, basically, so it's less rough of a grind. We started out with like a grinding stone, and we went to, I think, a 240 or something like that, I'm guessing. I didn't read the sand disc, and now I don't know if we got a 180 or 120. I mean, 400 or 440 or what now, but he switched discs, and so I assume we're getting to the finer grit to make the buffing part easier and the final blending good. So we looking pretty nice. Much more finished than it did when it just had a bunch of rough weld all the way over it and all the discoloration. Because when you put heat on these things, they turn blue and green and all kinds of colors around the weld. And then there's the smoke or soot, that they have. So all that stuff. You're trying to blend that in. He put a heavy weld on there, but you got to be careful when you're blending on the 0.5 millimeter paddle side, because it's really thin. I don't want to go through it. That would be bad news. So, but these guys know what they're doing, so we'll let them do it. So we will be back at one more level of polishing, grinding, and we'll see what's next. Bye for now. Paradise out. All right. We're getting closer to the buffing thing. We got like a Scotch-Brite pad on here now. It's a fine grit Scotch-Brite pad. They've got several grits of those. There's a store here in the Philippines. It's a little, I don't know, it's just assorted stuff. They got hardware, they got home stuff, plumbing stuff, like faucets for sinks and stuff like that. They got kitchenware and a lot of them. So it's called DIY. And you can go there and you can get all kinds of these little red and green and gray little buffing wheels like that. They're like a Scotch-Brite type of material, and they're different grits and grains, and they're good for this final finish work, and that's what he's doing here. He's got that kind of a buffing wheel. So we are going to let him do that, and we'll be back with more from my paradise on the Italian island. Look at that paddle, baby. Paradise out. Right, you're about to witness the trick here. They got 1,000 grit sandpaper there, roughly. See him folding it up, making these little sheets. He's gonna turn this into a buffing wheel. Every time I do this and I touch anything with the sandpaper, it just disintegrates. But these guys know how to do it, and it just like puts 1,000 grit buff on all their welds, and then after that it's so easy to just put the cotton buffing wheel on. There's a cotton buffing wheel right down there, right there. Put that on, put some of that compound, and boom, it just shines almost instantly. It really makes a difference. But like I said, I've tried this, and the 1,000 grit, just pieces of it just rip and shred and fly everywhere. So maybe there's a secret we'll discover here watching this. Anyway, I'll let you see it when it's done. Basically, you see the steps. The next step is to make the little sanding disc paddle wheel, little sanding wheel. You'll put a hole in it at some point in time and stick it onto the grinder. Bye for now. Paradise out. Very cutting the hole. The little grinder to go through uses some big sheet metal shears. See that hole? See it, folks? That's a whole load of it. Well, it's actually just one sheet. Just put that on here. I'm just going to fan it out. Like a little flower. Like flower petals. Now, he'll go to town with that. And after that, it's buffing time. Watch this. If I did that pieces of that sandpaper would be flying everywhere. I'd have like 100,000 chunks of that stuff just all over the walls and floor, but somehow they do it and it just buffs up fine. So anyway, if you can duplicate that, you're a better man than me. Paradise out. All right, he's still. Now he's already done the paddle blade in. He's working this, all the cracks and crevices. He's still using the same 1,000 grit sanding disc that he handmade. I would have never been able to use that for even 10 seconds without it shredding itself. Look at that. Still getting it all done. Amazing. I gotta figure this one out. I'm baffled. Working all the corners and stuff with that thing. He's simply using the edge, the very edge. And that's really what you want to do, because the actual nut that holds that on, if you try to go farther inside the ring, you'll hit that nut on the seal and scratch it up, kind of gouge it. So you can only use the very edge of that. But he's using it masterfully. So we're almost done. Next is the buffing and Paradise out. All right, everybody. This is the buffing part here. You see, he's got his buffing compound, the green stuff there, and right there. And like I said, once he hits it with that 1,000 grit and touches that, this stuff just buffs up so fast. I mean, it just mirrors in a second. You just touch it with that and boom, it's shiny. So that 1,000 grit step is critical one. One that I didn't use when I was doing a lot of buffing. I was stopping with like 440 or 480 grit, and I had to do a lot of work. But if I'd have known the 1,000 grit trick, man, that would have saved me hours of buffing and polishing. But this is how quickly it takes to do that. I mean, he just rubs it and it's done. Really cool. So we're almost done with this. He's got to do the little V part there with my head and the paddle blade. And then we'll be shined up, and this one will be 100% ready to rock. And then we'll start on blade 2, which is under there, right there. It looks black, but that's just the mirrors reflecting the underside of the table where it starts. So that's a puppy wanting some food over there. They closed the door on him when they brought the fish in. He smells that fish and he wants something to eat. So we will not have to listen to the puppy whine anymore, and we'll be almost done with this. Just I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we'll have this thing knocked out. Paradise out. All right. Let the buffing commence on the blade now. You can see where the edges is sanded and rough, and you can also watch and see how fast it just turns into just mirror now that he's done all the proper grinding steps. And he just uses a dab of that buffing compound. I like to set my grinder, angle grinder with the buffing roll there and just like heat it up. Find out, maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I'm wasting a lot. You know, as foreigners, we don't know how to do some of this stuff. Overkill. But yeah, you can see. It's just turning into a perfect mirror, so we're going to let him buff out this paddle blade, and we'll be back with more for my Paradise on Italian Island. Paradise out. Hey everybody, I'll give you a close and zoomed in aerial view of the paddles here. This is basically them. See how they're all finished in and blended in here and all that. There, this looks like just one piece. You can see that there's no seams or nothing. The way they did this, they really did a great job. And of course, this is just the standard stuff. Here's the handles. Here we've got the tie loops to put a carabiner on to tie these so they don't fall in the ocean. All the welding here. See, it's just really nice work these guys did. Really, really, really nice work. So anyway, that is the paddles all done. And we did a gaff and we did a fish net too. The same stuff. You'll be seeing videos on those too, so stay tuned.